Hi everyone, this is Miss S from Excelsior Charter School, and today we're going to be covering Geometry Quarter 4's performance task. So this task is about designing a candy container. The requirements are that each piece of candy is 1 centimeter high and 2 centimeters in diameter, and they're kind of a cylinder shape. The container you create and design must hold 18 pieces of candy. The container must be made from a single sheet of paper. Your design should contain as few cuts as possible, and the sides of the design may be held together with glued flaps that should be included in your design. So there are 7 steps in this process. Step 1 is about nets. So a net here is just the way to draw a 3-dimensional figure 2-dimensionally. So if you notice there, this first one here is the net of a rectangular prism, and it's the one that's most similar to the one that's actually on your performance task. They give you a rectangular prism and they ask you to draw the net. So the net kind of gets a folded out version of that rectangular prism. And then they ask you, would 18 pieces of candy fit into the container that they've given you there on question number 1? And so you need to create your net and then upload that into question number 1 there. And along with that net, you need to include the answer to that question. Would the 18 pieces of candy fit into the carton? And then explain your answer. How do you know whether or not they would fit? And that's step 1. Step number 2 is for design options. They want you to make 2 designs for your carton and then choose which one you think the best is and why. You don't have to draw these to scale. They can kind of be rough outlines. Take a look around your house or around the grocery store. See what different kind of cartons you can find. These are some that I found. And here are some different candy containers that I found as well. Yours does not have to be a rectangular prism. It can be whatever shape you want it to be. But they want you to come up with 2 kind of rough sketches for this one, and then you'll upload them here into question number 2. You can use your own graph paper. You can use Desmos or any other type of graph paper you want to help draw these containers. For step 3, they want you to do a little planning process chart, and you'll actually create this in Canvas. So this image here actually comes from Canvas. It's the actual question here. And if you click on the box here, and then you can click on Insert, and then you can click on Table, and it will actually put a table in there where you can do the steps taken and then what I did and how I did it. So make sure you include your drawings, your constructions, arranging your design, your measurement, your calculations, and then if there's any other steps that you needed to take in order to get through those parts, make sure you include that as well. And then step 4 is your final design choice. So remember that the size and shape of your container is determined by that design, so it's important that you include that here. We want to make it look 3-dimensional, so you want to use shading or different things like that to make it look 3D. So this image here might help you. The 2-dimensional shapes are on the left-hand side, and then the 3-dimensional shapes are on the right. You can see how they've drawn them. You can kind of see different sections. You see shading on them and things like that. So that might help you create your final design to upload it into step 4. Step 5 is about the volume of that final shape. So will all the candy that you have fit into your design? In order to do that, you need to figure out what the volume of the candy is on their own, those 18 pieces of candy, and then what the volume of your final design choice is. And so you're just going to type out all those steps into Canvas here. So Canvas will actually let you input your equations if you need to. Sometimes you'll hit insert and you can hit this in here, the equation. Sometimes you might find these 3 little dots over here on the right hand side, and then you'll hit that to insert your equation. But when you're going about finding the volume, you'll need to determine what kind of shape you have first, and then use the formula for that type of volume, and you can put all your steps into Canvas to get your full points. Make sure you include your equations. Step number 6 is about the surface area of your container. The theater is going to want to cover your container with artwork that they're going to choose, so you're going to need to find the surface area of that. Again, depending on what shape you chose, that will vary on what type of formula you want to use. But just like before, You can use insert and then go here to the equation to type out your equations that you used for your surface area and show all the calculations that you did in order to find the surface area of your container. And then the last part for the performance task is just your report. There are 6 questions. They're worth 2.5 points apiece, and you're just going to type out the answers there in Canvas. So what are the dimensions for your container? It has length, it has width, it has height. The total surface area, which is what you just found there in step number 6. The total volume of your container, which you found in step 5. The volume of the 18 pieces of candy, which you also found in step 5. And then 5 and 6 are kind of unique to you. What was the most difficult part of this project? And if you change one thing, what would you change and why would you change it? Good luck, everybody. I hope you guys all do great.